Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Mark Turley. He is the owner-operator of Turley Backhoe Services out of Rutledge, Tennessee. So welcome, Mark. We appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you offering to give me an opportunity to come share a story about the business and life in general. I appreciate it.
Well, you're very welcome. So obviously you do backhoe work.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about why would people call you? What do they need done?
The service I offer. Well, first thing, there's not a lot of people in the community that does the service work that I do, septic, sewer, water. I used to do mainly, I guess what you call excavating work, dirt work, but then I kind of got pushed over in the service area, and I got noticing. Let me back up, I guess, tell you this story. But I worked for my dad for 4 years out of high school, and well, during high school and out of, and then I ended up buying the business off of him. And I've been in business for 29 years.
Oh, wow.
So growing up with him, and what we worked for was mainly builders back then. Digging basements, site prep, might clean up 50 acres, might build a subdivision road, something of that nature. And I got noticing all the builders that he worked for. I guess I'm trying to think ahead. Maybe what's the next step or the next better way to better your business or better yourself anyway. And I've noticed that like all the builders same age. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, these guys are going to retire about the same time, and there's nobody picking a trade up anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's like everything is a dying trade, whether it's a body shop guy, a mechanic, truck driver, what I do as a operator, whatever. So the guy that started Rainbow Septic here in Morristown, Mike Parrish, he's passed away now, but he contacted me and wanted me to do some work for some sewer work that he had recommended me. And anyway, make a long story short, we hit it off, and he said he really liked the work I done, the type of material I used, and how I worked with the people. So me and him worked together probably for 17 years off and on, giving work back and forth. So I guess that's kind of got me pushed over in more of a service work instead of dirt work, excavating business. And I've had opportunities to get bigger. I've had opportunities to move on to other things, make much more money. But I just enjoy people, and that's one reason I guess I do everything myself. I've never had a help. I ain't gonna say never. My son helped me when he was all through high school, and here and there I had like a young guy maybe come in like, well, I want to make some money during the summer, but majority of the time I've been by myself, and I am now, and I just want to stay small. I can spend time with the customers. I'm not, I don't have a big overhead. I'm rush trying to get through these jobs and make money and pay. So I enjoy people, and I enjoy the job. I don't look at it as a job, look at it as helping people in this service work, because not all, but 90% of my calls are, I don't know if you say emergency calls or not, but they're hey, this won't flush, my basement's full of water, something of that nature. So I look at it as I'm helping them more than a job, and it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing, and I work for I got to brag, I work for some great people. I work in Hamlin, I cover Hamlin, Jefferson, Granger, and so probably I could it's safe to say 99% of my work is in Hamlin County, and but I work for some really good people. I can't complain.
Okay. So you do a lot of, like, if somebody needs a new septic system installed, or if they're having septic issues, you can help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, new installation or repair, either one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you still do like foundation? If somebody's wanting to do a custom build and they're trying to subcontract out themselves, can you like help them with, I guess, excavating out to get the foundation laid, or?
Yeah. My dad and brother is still in business, of course, and they still do all that work. But I have so much. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't do it, but I've got so much service work. I stay almost too much behind nonstop.
Oh, wow.
Kind of double-edged sword. Is good, but it's not for the people, having to wait on it.
Right.
But it come a time in my business where I kind of had to sit back and catch my breath and look here. I might go one way or the other. I can't do them both because I had all this septic work, sewer work lined up, and then I had all this footer work, site prep, whatever you want to call it. And I would just keep putting them off, trying to get to people that was in dire need, you know.
Absolutely.
So these people up here was waiting 3-4 months at a time. I was like, that's not good. So I was like, all right, I dropped like 2 or 3 builders, and I've still got one that I work with, but that's about it. And not that I wouldn't do it if I'm slack. Sometimes I pick up jobs like that, but most of the time I have so much this other dire need, you know, work that I don't have time to pick up regular dirt work. So, and I've got other guys that I can send it to. Like I said, I feel like all these trades is a dying trade, and we have to get these young guys started, and the young women, you know. I've been fortunate enough, and God has blessed me with, I don't know it all. I still learn every day, but I hope in 33 years, I hope I've learned something, you know. So, my son is picked his own thing up, his own career, and that's great. I don't want him to do something because I did. I want him to do something that he enjoys doing. So he picked a separate career, and I had nobody to pass the business on to. So again, looking back at all these dying trades, I was like, I got to pass them what little knowledge I've got to somebody, you know.
Right.
So I picked up in the last 8 or 10 years, I picked up 3 guys and helped them get started in the business, let them go along with me about a year or so, and now they're all 3 doing great in business. Yeah, awesome. and I'm really pleased to see that. And so that's what I'm doing now. I kind of slowed down a little bit. I sold all my bigger equipment off and did just like this smaller work, and it gives me a little more time to work with them. Actually, I had a guy this past month or 2. He's I've kind of dropped him off, and he went and bought equipment. He's got started, but he actually called me, and you know, like, hey, I like to learn the business, and didn't know the guy at that time. Anyway, long story short, he's a great young guy, and so he stayed with me for a little while and showing the ins and outs and what have you. So I've got people like what I'm getting at, I guess. I got people like that I can send other work to that I can't get to,
Right.
and I'm very cautious about sending work to anybody. Because if either one of you call me, and I was like, I can't do it, but so-and-so can, my name is still on that job, I feel like.
Absolutely.
So.
Trust me, that's the struggle we deal with on a regular.
Oh, yeah.
Because it seems like in the past 5 or 6 years, like, nobody shows up when they say they're going to.
Yeah.
They never get the estimate to you in the time they say they're going to, or you finally get through all that, and they're supposed to start work, and then you never hear from them again. So. Yeah, it's really hard to attach your name to somebody when you're doing that referral. So I totally understand that.
And I see the backlash of that too. I have people call me, and they're like, I try to have patience with people, because sometimes if they say something to me kind of out of the way, most time I ain't gonna say every time, but most time it's not me, it's something that they dealt with before, they're taking it out, and they're just like, well, you gonna show up? Like, yeah, if not when you want me there, but I will show up, you know. If I say I'm gonna do the job, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
And when I get to the job, it's like, hey, I'm sorry, you know, but I've had like 3 people promise they'll be here and never even. So you know, I always tell them up front, listen, I stay busy. I really appreciate if you can have patience and wait. If you cannot, I totally understand. But here is my schedule. Here it is, and it's in your lap. If you can wait, I'll be glad to do it. If not, you understand. Some job that can't wait.
Right.
Sure.
And you know, sometimes I look back like maybe it would have been better if I was bigger, so I could got these jobs just soon to pick the phone up, you know, whatever. And actually, I said something that to a customer last week, and he's like, if I picked the phone up and you said I'm on my way, I told you I'd hung up and got somebody else. Because you're not good enough to be busy. I don't want you, you know. So, so anyway, it's.
And see, that's kind of my mentality, is that, you know, a lot of times people expect you to be a Pop-Tart realtor. You know, they call and they're sitting in front of the house and they want you to get up right then and go show them that house. And I'm like, if I can get up and go show you that house right now, that means I had nothing else going on. Do you really want to use me as your So, yeah, I understand that. There you go. But I think it's great that you take on the younger people and help mentor them.
That. Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, we run into that a lot because, like, surveyors. Surveyors are backed up, 3, 4, 5 months because all the good ones that have done it forever and a day have retired or passed away, and young people
Right.
don't go into that kind of a trade. So,
And like I said, I mean, you've got, I'm sure real estate and all business is the same. Yeah, you've got people out here that run equipment, and you've got people that drives out a truck, but they're not really the true operators. You know, like we drove by a job site one day, me and my dad did, and they was like 7 pieces of equipment. And my dad is one of the best operators ever has, ever will be. He's amazing. And he's like, that's why I never got big. He said, out of those 7 pieces of equipment, you can tell one guy knows what they're doing, and the rest of them just, he says, so, and him also, he started his business in 80, and he's had several opportunities to get big, and my granddad my granddad started this business. I'm a 3rd generation. He started in 1952.
wow.
And then of course my dad picked it up, and I mean, a kind of funny story behind this. Let me tell you this before I go any further. My dad dropped out of high school at 16 where he wanted a job. Actually came to Morristown, and you may know, most everybody does know Ambrose Brewer
Oh,
out
yeah.
of Morristown. Well, he went to Ambrose looking for a job. Dad lied to him, told me he was 18. He said, put him on a piece of equipment, watched him for a few minutes. He's like, you're hired, yeah.
Because that was back before they checked your birth certificate and all that kind of stuff.
So Ambrose didn't even know that until probably 6 or 7 years ago. Dad seen him out. He's like, let me ask you something. Did you know how old I was? He's like, well, you had to be 18. He said, no, I was 16 years old. So that was kind of comical. But anyway, I think Dad worked for Ambrose for maybe 10 years or so, and I think 1980 is when he went in his own business, and then it snowballed in, and he told me and my brother, he said, do not do this. Go to college, make good money, whatever. And I guess every parent wants all their kids to do better than what they've got it, but I knew from a young age just what I wanted to do, and
You get to play in dirt. That's every boy's dream, isn't it?
So that's kind of the history shot of it, and then
Right.
like I said, my brother and Dad still, I guess say Dad's semi-retired, but he still works some with my brother, and then again, I've been on my own, like I said, for 29 years now.
That's awesome.
Well, the downside to, expanding like you were talking about is then you're responsible for other people, and your name's on those people.
Right.
So when they don't do it to your satisfaction or to the customer's satisfaction, it's you they get mad at.
Yeah. And
So yeah, I get that.
I'm pretty picky at what I do. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I'm really picky, and I want it right. And even the young guy that I was talking about that sporadically, helped me maybe a month or whatever it was, I catch myself going right back over everything they done. I'm like, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well do it myself. And not that they wasn't doing a good job, but I just want it right. And so.
Okay. All right. So if somebody needs to get in touch with you because they've got some work that they need done, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Phone number.
All right.
865-368-8048. Text, and or they could. I am very bad at look at my emails, so I'm not even gonna put it out there.
Okay. So don't email him, but you can call or text him. And we will put that number in the comments there when we get done with the live. So anything else about your business that you want to share with us?
Not right offhand. I mean, it's just standing out there. I just encourage the younger kids growing up. It's maybe look at something like this to maybe get with somebody. Doesn't have to be me, but whoever, and just learn the business and see if that's what you want to do.
There's always going to be a need for it.
Yeah, always. And I guess like I told my son when he graduated high school, like that, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And I said, first thing, I know you're doing this, but you need to be praying about what you're supposed to be doing. You need to be praying about where God's leading you and how you can better serve Him. 2, enjoy what you're doing. And then 3, you can worry about the money later. But I just encourage kids to not just excavate and try, all these, whether you do it or not. Like I told Josh, I said, learn a trade. You don't have to do that for a living, but it's something you can fall back on, or you might want to do it for a living, So
Or if you try to remodel a house, you'll have that experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing we've noticed, that like when the younger kids want to buy a house, you know, when we bought our first house, it was usually a piece of crap and you knew you had a bunch of work to do to it. And you were fine with that, but the younger kids, they won't move in ready.
Oh, yeah.
And if it does need some stuff, like they have no idea how to
Yeah,
do
that's the
anything.
problem, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you. Like, they need to learn how to do some of this
Absolutely.
stuff. I mean, I'm a girl, and my dad made me learn how to change a tire and change my own oil, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, again, this is Mark Turley. He is with Turley Backhoe Service, and he services Hamlin County, Granger County, and Jefferson County. So he gave you the cell phone number. We'll put it in the comments. Feel free to reach out to him if you need any work done. Thank you again, Mark,
Appreciate
for
it.
being here. We
Thanks so
appreciate
much.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Yes, appreciate
And if
you.
you want to head out, we're going to talk a little bit about mortgages and what's going on in the interest rate world.
Thank you.
All right, Kim, where are we at on mortgage rates?
I feel like I'm just a broken record.
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. You know, mid to upper sixes, conventional low sixes, FHA. Not really any. We might have a day or two of a down days, and then
And then it goes up,
2
and then it
days
goes
up.
down.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much, you know, all in all, that's about where it's staying
Okay.
in the grand scheme of things.
Any program changes or guideline changes that we need to be aware of?
No, I think I mentioned before, you know, that, you know, we've always had zero down options. You know, of course, obviously the very best one is if you're a veteran. The other two are USDA and then the Tennessee THDA loan. Both of those have some pretty tough restrictions, you know, income limits. You know, one of them can't have owned a home in the last 3 years in certain counties, blah, blah, blah. We have a new FHA product now. It's similar to the THDA. It has the first and the second, and there's no income limits. Really no debt to income limits. If you can get an automated approval through desktop underwriter, then, I mean, I closed one the other day that was a zero down and the back end ratio was like 56%. So there are some more options than what we used to have, you know.
Okay.
So, than just those particular, if you are looking for a zero down option.
Okay. All right. So last week we talked about what happened in May of 2025. So now we're going to do like a year-to-date summary from January 1st through the end of May, what's happened in Hamlin County. We closed 217 homes so far. The sales prices ranged anywhere from $32,000 up to little under $1.5 million. That was a lake house down in Talbot. Average sales price is running around $317,000 with 57 days on the market. Those homes are selling at 95% of their list price. The median sales price is $300,000, 32 days on the market, and those homes are selling for roughly 97% of their list price. Now, if I look at where were we at in 2024, we sold 253 homes from January 1st to the end of May last year. Average sales price was around $301,000, so not a lot of change there. The average days on market was 48 last year. The median price was $292, and median days on market was 14. So, days on market is increasing, is the biggest takeaway from that. But we still have homes that are going under contract. It's just taking a little bit more time. Excuse me. So, that's where we're at.
What was the numbers again? 253 last year and 217 this year, so still pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I think part of it, we have a lot, you know, the homes coming on the market seem to be higher priced.
Mm-hmm.
And so that definitely affects people here in Hamlin County.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I think people are still buying. I mean, it's very active last week and applications and contracts last week. So yeah, it's definitely.
it's still considered a seller's market. We're just having more days on the market right now. So,
Gotcha.
all right. If you have a local business that you would like to have featured, please send us a DM or leave a comment below. We'd love to get you on our schedule this summer.